Hi, I'm Don Metcalfe, the Managing Director of Buxton Brewery, and we're sat here with Dan, our head chef for the group. Dan, figured it'd be a good idea to get you on camera, tell you why we decided to get you on board. Tell me, how long have you been a chef?
I've been a chef for 13 years. It all started in Buxton at the college, literally just over there.
What made you want to come to Buxton Brewery, other than my charm?
The sense of direction that the business is going in. I could be creative and have like full reign of multiple sites. There's obviously good staff.
I think your food speaks for itself. I think first time I sneakily went up and had some food in the restaurant where the head chef from Manchester is exactly the sort of food we needed for Buxton Brewery, and that's why I wanted to get you on board. I think what you've been doing so far ahead of when we actually close for our refurb is exactly what we need to see. But talk to me about what your favourite types of food to cook and why you like cooking it and the style you like cooking it.
I don't really have a set style. That's probably part of having ADHD because my brain constantly goes all over the place. But I'm passionate about like a good roast dinner, and like this is the perfect setting to implement that. It stems back from my childhood going out to my grand's house, really communal and just having a good conversation and a good dinner. Like my gran, she was a dinner lady for years. So back when dinner ladies actually made food from fresh and like really humble beginnings. So that's where I'll start.
Well, I'm yet to try your roasts, but been fortunate enough to see some of the background photography of your little trial session the other day. I'm very much looking forward to trying it. What do you think is your signature dish? And if you talk to me about your coronation chickpea sandwich, you seem to be it over.
Like I said, I don't think I have one. I just like cooking. I know that's a real generic answer, but I just love cooking. I try to just pick up different ideas from different places that I've worked at. I'm constantly scrolling through Instagram, just getting like different ideas, and the people that I work with, like they give me some ideas, and when we work on things together, so it's all collective. I don't want it to just be just me on the plate. I think it's important that everyone's identity from the kitchen speaks for itself. So that's what we try to achieve.
I think that's a great ethos. I know when we first started speaking, we shared a lot of the same passions. Obviously, my parents were chefs by trade, so I kind of grew up in their pub down south, eating good food. And I think we both shared a lot of the same sort of passions for just well-sourced, local food, cooked simply but classically, and just really, really tasty, honest portions of food as well. So obviously, when I made my pitch to you in terms of what I wanted to achieve for the business, I've only been in the company 18 months, but history suggests that the Buxton Tap House was the place to eat and drink in Buxton. And I think we can get back to that when you're on board. So in terms of giving some background to the situation, we're obviously closing this Saturday evening for 5 days while we refurbish the place. I give you all of your favourite toys that you've been sending any long lists for, very expensive lists as well. Yeah, so another. What do you think is the most important item on that list that you send me over that's paid for?
Probably the rationale, because that's what I said to you straight away when we first met, is that I'd leave one of them. So yeah, it'll be that.
Yeah, I think I was a bit shocked when the list came over a bit. Give you some items you need, especially when you send me over pasta boiler that was 2,200 quid. And my view was that you can boil a pan of meal like the rest of us. I think hopefully when you've got all the kit you need, you will not be up and yelling with best friend in your box again.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's what we need to strive for is to be the best. And I think it's definitely in the realms of possibility. Like it's not just being in that kitchen. I've got great people that work in there, and they're all pushing for the same thing. They're all as invested as I am, and that's half the battle.
I agree. I think we have the ethos in the brewery that we need to be constantly improving and constantly striving to be better. And you'd have to live under a rock to realize that hospitality is under a lot of pressure. So the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. which is why we're going to change things up. You know, we've already invested a lot of money in some of their other properties. We're going to do the same in this one and the same up at the brewery. Again, you on board is a big part of that. I know you've got some ambitious hopes for your roast as well. I know it's going to be a flagship of what you do, and I think your ambitions at it being in the top 50 pretty quickly. So tell me about who your idol is in terms of cooking and why.
I don't have just one idol. I have a few. Rick Stein is like one of my absolute heroes. I grew up watching Rick Stein's cooking programs, and his ethos behind cooking is amazing. And considering he wasn't self-taught, he started out as a DJ and then decided to completely reinvent himself.
DJ Star.
Yeah. That's what the seafood restaurant was. It was actually a nightclub before it was a seafood restaurant. And then my other one is probably Anthony Bourdain, just because of how passionate he is, the way that he speaks about food, and his kind of no mentality. That's what I love about him. Yes.
No reservations was a game changer. Oh yeah, for someone who was also interested massively in food. I remember watching his programs and reading his books, and you know, he was just so inspirational and just such a free spirit. I think, you know, you can't not be passionate about food when you watch him and listen to him talk about food.
Yeah, listening to his book was a game changer because of how much you can relate. Any chef anywhere in the world could listen to that book and know the things that he talks about. Everyone will be able to relate to it, and that's what I love about it. Yeah.
Great.
So what made you pick me?
Didn't really have many other options. I was joking. I mean, he came highly recommended, obviously, via mutual friends. And, you know, when I heard where you were chefing, where you chefed for up in Manchester, and I came and did a bit of a sneak visit to your restaurant and ate the food. I thought that's exactly what we needed in Buxton. I think we're very lucky that we've got a loyal trade in Buxton in terms of locals, but we also heavily rely on tourists as well. And I think the style of food that you do suits who we are as a business and who we want to be targeting and why we want to be doing it. Obviously, when we met a couple of times and just had kind of informal chats, and I'm a great believer on recruiting based on what my heart tells me rather than sitting there trying to make you do all sorts of tests and things like that and work out, you know, cook this for me, cook that, you know. And I knew how good your food was. I just wanted to make sure that we were going to get on and you were on board with our vision for growing the business.
So what's the rest of the plans for the business?
Well, as you know, obviously Trackside is rocking along now, which you're overseeing. We just put together 2 record weeks back to back, which is amazing in March and April, which bodes really well for the summer. Sock and Musket Cocktail Bar, which you've obviously been doing some great food for as well. Is really coming on leaps and bounds. We've been open a month now, but that's hit the ground running and already hitting target, which is great. And then closing here on this Saturday for 5 days, reopening on Good Friday once the kitchen's been fully decked out with all of your equipment. And then the proof is in the pudding. You know, if we can have a really, really strong summer, which we expect to have across all of the businesses, then you know that there is a hunger within the ownership of the business that we want to find somewhere else and keep growing. You know, we're not interested in standing still. We'll look to acquire other venues as and when they come up. Well, Dad, it's been good chatting to you. As I said, Eva, you're a really big part of the future of this total business, and I can't wait to see what you can do with a fully decked out kitchen. And I will be here on Easter Sunday, sampling the first roasts. So here's to a long and prosperous future together.
Thank you.
Quite sure. Cheers.
Cheers.